Welcome to the Dark Nook Monster Shop. In this video, I'm not making a monster. Instead, I want to talk about shape shopping. So what is shape shopping, you ask? Well, like regular shopping, it happens at the grocery store. Shape shopping is when you stop shopping for products and instead start shopping for shapes. Either the shape of the product itself or the shape of the packaging it's in. Like these applesauce pouches. Now, I don't want applesauce, but look at these caps. They could be a ton of things used in a ton of different builds. So, shape shopping is learning to see this sort of stuff, but not just learning to see it on the shelf at the store, but at home, when you find things like this. This is the icing cup from a tube of cinnamon rolls, or these little plastic lids from deli containers. The edges are great for anything from curved armor on a vehicle to curved armor on a person because the pattern nests and replicates. Now this is the inside of a box of chocolates. I use these to mold foam clay when I need a shape with nice clean angles and edges. Now these are the tops from some used up air duster cans. They could be anything, they have a great shape. Now, if you happen to have access to a candy shop, there's an endless selection of weird candy toys. It seems like every company is in competition to make the most useless and overly complicated toy candy dispensers you can find. And these things are a wealth of great parts. Now, dollar store knockoff versions are even better. Not only are they cheaper, but they're usually put together so poorly that you can literally just pull them apart. First step, get rid of the candy. Then, feel around the thing like it's Pinhead's puzzle box until you find its weak spots. Just start pulling this thing apart until you get to the lament configuration. Every piece that comes off this thing looks like it could be part of a robot or a spaceship. It's got gears and cogs, just great shapes. And once all the parts are pulled out, here you can see the one screw in this whole thing. So if I take this screw out, it'll remove the gear from the turnkey, but I'm going to leave it together for now. Even the orange pumpkin dome could be a great cockpit or... Come on, kitty, what are you doing? Could you stop? Hey, knock it off. I'm trying to work here. I said quit it! Both of you! Even the orange pumpkin-shaped dome top could be a great cockpit canopy or an eyeball. But here's something really cool. Once all these bits are removed, now the original gumball machine housing looks so different. It could be a great body for a robot, or the hull of a starship, or the cockpit of a pod racer. Look at this thing, it's perfect. Now speaking of candy, dental picks and flossers have gone crazy in the last few years. Have you noticed every tooth care product now looks like it's part of an Imperial interrogation droid? These look like they're for cleaning fuel injectors, not gums. There's also these toothbrush covers that hinge open. They're great for making symmetrical features, like a armored hull that has the same shapes on both sides. A little bit of mechanical symmetry goes a long way in selling the reality of your build. Pudding, gelatin, flan, they all come in an assortment of cups and all of the cups are useful. And here's the dome top of a icy. This thing is a piece of the plastic sleeve from a pneumatic office chair. And a great source of greebles are caps. Caps from bottles, from toothpaste, from sports drinks, or anything that has a cap. They make great wheels, or jet engines, all kinds of stuff. Now here's a great source of useful plastic shapes. The single serving stuff they make to go in kids' school lunches. This is just a little snack pack of cherry tomatoes. This whole thing would be great for bought parts of the housing or armor. You could cut this apart, you could use it as a mold. Same with these assorted cups. They all can be used. They're all great for if you need big engines or something like that. But what's this? What use is this boring old tub of butter? What am I making, a bland bot? No, the real value of this is the shape down here on the bottom. Notice how the bottom is shaped like an eye? If I use this as a foam clay mold, I can really make a cool, big, smooth, round eye from this bottom. Speaking of bottoms, that brings me to the bathroom air fresheners. These things are a gold mine of bits and pieces. The clip-on car ones already look like robot parts, but almost all of them have some venting system that look like turbine engines or fans. Check out this Airwick design. Not only is it a cool little bottle, but it has this great cap. And the lid pulls apart to reveal this awesome looking set of matched vent pieces. This could be used for so many things. And while you're at the store, hit the kids' vending machines for some toys. Now this one had some crap knockoff Legos, which I don't mind using in scratch builds, because real Legos are just too stupidly expensive to use for this kind of thing, but these cheapo knockoff versions are perfect. I'm more interested in the plastic ball that it comes in. These would make perfect eyes. And speaking of great eyes, or portholes or dome hatches, save the protective plastic cap that comes in the top of some single pack ice cream cones and drumsticks like these. So, all of this stuff is going into my big bot bin. That's right, I'm already saving up bot bits. So in my next Big Bot Bash video, you can look and say, oh look, that's the thing from the shape shopping video. When Bill Making Stuff does the next Big Bot Bash, or is it Dan Does? I always get the two of them confused. Honestly, sometimes I think it's just one guy who lives in the attic above a candy shop. In fact, I don't even think the owners know he's in there. Ever notice how when he's in the candy shop, there's nobody else around? Is that because he can only come out when they're closed or on holiday? I think he's just living in the walls, sneaking around and stealing stuff to craft with like a borrower. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Bill Making Stuff really a borrower? It would explain why he's so good at minis. Because they're not minis to him. To him, they're actual size. Anyway, it was one of them that recommended this, the Hexbot Junkbots building set. It's a modular building set that consists of random junk parts for making junk robots. So I ordered this bot dumpster for about 15 bucks. It's nearly worth it just for the bin and this rubber chain. First off, let me just say, I would have loved this when I was a kid. The whole trash bin aesthetic and the attention to detail is just awesome and fun. And the first thing that pops out to me is the packaging detail. Little boxes and cartons of made up products to be trash in the bin. It's just very fun. But I also really like how a bunch of the bot bits are in little trash bags too, so you have to rip open the bags to find the bits. So basically all the parts pop together with this little ball and socket connection. Some of the connections are pretty loose though, and honestly a lot of the pieces are not the best quality for actually building the bots they want you to build. But that doesn't really matter for my plans. There's a lot of junk in here that I really have no use for that they thought would make cute bots like hats and traffic cones and stuff, but overall there's a lot of bits that will be super useful. Some great robot parts and some great greebles. And there's this little LED fiber optic light thing that's really cool. Some of the other pieces have holes for these little light tubes to go in and it lights up the inside of that piece. It's kind of neat. Lastly, I want this bin, so all the paper has to go. And check it out, they detailed the plastic, so it's not just plain plastic covered in paper. I do like attention to detail like that, even when most people will never see it. Now, everything goes back in the bin. The chain goes back on the bin. And the junk bot bin goes in the big bot bin. I'm gonna need a bigger bin.